welcome back. Let's do question 224. The sketch alongside shows the graphs of f of x and g of x. The graph of g is an axis of symmetry of f. The graphs f and g intersected p and q. Write down the values of x for which negative 16 over x is greater than negative x. We have to recognize that this is actually coming from f of x is greater than g of x. Okay, let me just show you. We managed to find the value of k. We said k is equal to negative 16 here. And then here we found that w is equal to negative 1. So meaning that f of x is negative 16 over x minus 1. And then greater than g of x, we have g of x, negative x minus 1. If we transpose negative 1 to the right, becomes positive 1, and then negative 1 minus 1 is 0. So these two, they give us 0. It becomes negative 16 over x greater than negative x. So you see that this one is coming from this. We're saying we want where f of x is greater than g of x. We want where f of x is greater than g of x. At point P and Q, these two functions are equal. Then here we found that in question 223, we found that x is equal to negative 4 or x is equal to 4. So it means here x is equal to negative 4. And then here we have x is equal to 4. We want where f of x is greater than g of x. So where f of x is above g of x. And remember, this is the asymptote. Right? This is x is equal to 0. The asymptote x is equal to 0. Let's start from this side, from negative 4 and less. Right? Negative 4 and less, when x is less than negative 4. Right? Find that f of x is below g of x. This is f of x. And then this is g of x. So we can see that here, f of x is below g of x. Okay, so we don't want that region. And then we come here between negative 4 and 0. Between negative 4 and 0. Right, what can I say here? F of x. Where is f of x? Let me highlight f of x. This is f of x. And then g of x. This is g of x. In this region between negative 4 and 0, f of x is above g of x. So we want that region. So this is where f of x is above g of x. So this is fine. When x is greater than negative 4 but less than 0. An asymptote cannot be included. Right, then we come to this region between 0 and 4. Between 0 and 4. This is g of x, and then we have f of x. F of x is below g of x. So f of x is less than g of x in this region. Between 0 and 4, f of x is less than g of x. So we don't want that region. And then the last one, when x is greater than 4. When x is greater than 4. Right, we have f of x. You can see f of x. This is f of x. It is above g of x. So it means when x is greater than 4, f of x is greater than g of x. So that's another region. So or when x is greater than 4. You can write it in this form. X element of negative 4 not included, because at negative 4 the graphs are equal. And then 2, 0 not included. 0 cannot be included, is the asymptote. Then or x from 4 to infinity. So you can write it like this, or like this, then like this, or like this.